Hey you guys, I'm back with a quick little message. It's your girl Sarah the One. My face look big. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that follow, hit that notification bell. I was getting some downloads, and what we want to talk about, I know we've been talking about twin flames and stuff like that on my channel, so let's just make this a part 2. So in part 2, I wanted to start talking about the different types of partners you can attract. Okay, so I might not talk about twin flames, but these are people that can show up as if they are your twin flame, and I just wanted to make sense so that people can start having better like discernment with who and what is a twin flame, or what their divine counterpart or kingdom spouse or twin flame looks like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch the first video. So what my book did, one of the types is a karmic feminine and karmic masculine, and this may just be one video on karmic feminine and karmic masculines, and then I'll do the next group and the next group and the next group and the next group, because I got like 4 to 5 different groups of types of people that show up in your life, like romantically. We got karmics, we got normies, we got soulmates. Karmic, normies, soulmates, and it was another group. That's at least 3 groups. So anyway, so you have the karmic feminine and the karmic masculine. Okay. Oh, and the counterfeit. But the in the counterfeit. So let's talk about the karmics. So to me, we all kind of can start off being karmics first and foremost. You know, some of y'all may not be good for y'all, but some of us do come out the grain karmic. I was a karmic. Okay, I don't think I was necessarily like a whore or nothing like that. So I'm not even talking about like my promiscuity or like my sexual encounters. I'm just talking about genuinely like being toxic in general. Let's take out sex. I'm not talking about being a whore. I'm not talking about somebody having a whole face and they're a woman and they need to get out. I'm not talking about a man being a player whole face and he can get out, because I do believe like some of those are necessary for some people. Like some people just got to get that shit out and they got to grow up, women and men. So I'm not talking about that, because I feel like that's natural. We learning ourselves. We hypersexual. The world is hypersexual. Some of it is genuine, some of it is from abuse, some of it is from the world program, some of it is just because you just like to play and have sex and you just got intimacy issues. That doesn't make you karmic, that just makes you what you are. So I'm not talking about that when I say karmic. I'm talking about like when you toxic and you're not accountable, and you're not self-aware, or like you don't take full accountability, or you're not about like healing, you just don't give a fuck, you're very selfish, you're somewhat narcissistic, not a narcissist, you're not a narcissist. Like stuff like that, just very ego, self-based. Everything is about you. You don't give a fuck. You're not trying to hear nothing, see nothing. You're not trying to work nothing out. Stuff like that. So that's what I'm talking about with karmics. So period, point blank. I feel like at the end of the day, you can attract a karmic masculine or a karmic feminine, period, no matter where you are in your ascension stage. I've been seeing a lot about Wizard Liz, and I'm not gonna go too deep in that, and I'm not gonna bash her, because I do feel like she's a genuine being, so I'm not gonna do that. But obviously there was some sort of issue with that boy Landon that she attracted. This is a good example. So Wizard Liz, if y'all don't know, I don't know her nationality or her ethnicity, so she's not necessarily white, but she's fair skinned, and she's from like her ethnicity is something else. Somebody let me know in the comments. And so she like this OG manifestation baddie queen, millions of followers across all platforms. She gets your mind together, she sets you straight. She talk about how she was a people pleaser, all this type of shit that we all talk about, and she just bossed up, leveled up, become like a millionaire, did the damn thing. So somewhere down the line, a few years ago, she manifests her perfect partner, who she always knew, and then they get married, have a kid. Okay? Or engaged. Did they even get married? See, this is how much I don't follow them, so somebody correct me. Either way, they get together, they have a child, engaged / married. I don't know if they actually got married, but at least engaged, I know for sure. Fast forward, she's going through like this horrible ass divorce or separation or something like that. And I'm only saying divorce or separation because I don't really know if she was officially divorced, but I know enough to know who she is and what the fuck is going on, the gist of it. And he is like the most diabolical, warlock ass, narcissist ass, disgusting ass man ever. Okay, he's not the most horrible. It's a lot of men out there, but just compared to what you wouldn't have thought that Wizard Liz would have attracted, being like, she's like a dark divine feminine. So like, shout out to her, we like those. Okay. And so first of all, to be fair though, like I never thought the man was on her level. Just like optically, he didn't give that. But at the same time, opposites attract, and we don't always necessarily go for what we think. But that's also like a narrative. I feel like that's both, right? Let's just sidebar this, and it's gonna make sense. They always say, well, you're gonna end up with somebody you don't think you'll end up. Sometimes you do. I'm gonna tell y'all, I used, for example, I would say, like, I don't have a type, but over the years I had a type. Okay, I'm not gonna go into what that type is, but I know I have a type. Okay, dating at first, you don't have a type, but as you get like more sure of yourself and your identity, and you like grow up and you mature more, like you have a type. You do have a type. Now, whether that type is what you want to be honest about, whether this person is healed all the way, not healed all the way, whether this person meets 8 out of your 10 of your qualities or 5 out of 10 of your qualities, you have a type, if that makes sense. So anyway, and a lot of people say, well, you're gonna attract somebody that's not your type. I feel like that's true, but also it cannot be true. I feel like sometimes you know what you want and you go get it, which is fine. And I feel like sometimes you don't know what you want and you learn what you want, which is the opposite of what you think you want. I think everybody is different. So I hate that we put ourselves in parameters of what that type of connection can look like with your person. So we got to debunk that as well. But going back, all this is going to make sense with Landon. He didn't, to me, it didn't look like the type of man she would deal with because she's so strong. And me personally, it either goes like a strong woman is like with a quiet but strong man, or like a strong woman is with a stronger man, right? The man is usually, and I will say stronger, the man is usually like a little bit stronger than the woman, because you gotta understand, if you're a certain type of feminine anyway, you require a certain type of masculine, not just in the financial and physical realm, but in the spiritual realm. So for me, I know how my energy is. Like, I like strong men. That's just what it is. They be having big heads, but like, I just personally attract, and I attract this shit. It just what it is. And with that being said or whatever, yeah, they be big headed and full of themselves, a lot of them, honestly. But that don't mean they all bad. That don't mean they all nefarious. That don't mean they all toxic or whatever. That just mean I like men who are powerful and who are usually in control or leading or something like that. And that's probably because that's genuinely how I am. But I can be very like sensitive and soft and feminine if it's the right man. Because I've been multiple ways with different types of powerful men because of what they naturally pull out of me. It's not fake. It's just genuine. And every man I've been with was not this type of man. But I know that's the type of man I prefer. But at the same time, like, we're talking about karmics. So let's say, for example, with Wizard Liz, she got her man Landon. He seemed like a powerful woman, strong, but, you know, sweet, but strong, sweet, powerful man. You know, like meek, shy. Versus a strong, powerful woman, bold, brass, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. She could be all of the queens, actually. I'm not gonna hold her like that, but just very Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords, Liz. He gave very much like King of Cups, King of Pentacles. That's what he gave. King of Cups, King of Pentacles, or maybe King of Swords, King of Pentacles. Very much like in that energy with the earth or whatever. Come to find out, he's a warlock. Come to find out, I mean, in my opinion, allegedly he gives warlock. I mean, she a witch. Let's just be honest. Wiz is a witch. She a manifestation queen, but she low-key a witch in the most, you know, positive way to see it. Ain't no wrong with being a witch. We all do it. Well, all of us don't do witchcraft, but like, yeah, witchcraft is fine. It just depends on how you use it. So Wizard Liz, first of all, her name is Wizard Liz. Power player or not, like genuine, like we are what we are, right? Even when we name ourselves these names, I named myself Sarah the One alone years ago. It used to be Sarah the Siren years ago. Like, it's reasons that we come up with these names, whether we're conscious of it or not, or we grow into these names. Like, my name is that for a reason. I know my reason. I ain't gonna explain it, but like, yeah. So it's a reason why I call myself that. Like, we all have these like brandable names, but like Wizard Liz is catchy as fuck. Sarah the One, to me, it's catchy the fuck. It's catchy as fuck. And yeah, and all those names help with our esteem and our power and our femininity, and just maybe how we know that unconsciously that the world sees us in a certain way or certain extent, or like there's something magnetic about this specific person, and so the names of who we are is what it is. And then some people genuinely just are their name, and that's even like fire too within itself, and that's fine. So Wizard Liz get with Landon, It's a shit show. It's on TikTok. It's everywhere. Once again, it was viral a couple months ago. It was viral last year. It's viral again. So at this point, she's out the country. She's trying to get her baby back, her child back, because apparently he didn't got custody because he didn't prove, allegedly, but what the court said, that, you know, he got a restraining order against her, and she went out the country because he wants some with a green. She said this. Now I'm quoting her allegedly, but this is what she said. That's why it's on TikTok. He wants it's something to do with a green card, but she knows it's for her money. This is what she's saying, and she don't want to come back to America, at least not in that way, because he basically gonna lock her ass up. Not like jail time or nothing, but just like lock her up and all this like lawyer and legalities, and she don't know what to do when she's asking for help, and it's just a whole shit show. So with that being said, as powerful as Wizard Liz is, as boss like as Wizard Liz is, as such a divine, dark, feminine, and beautiful, gorgeous woman as Wizard Liz is, and sweet person, she just don't take no shit. And how she like got out of her life and alchemized her life and made her, and made herself this beautiful thing in our faces the last several years. She got still attracted to karmic. In her case, a counterfeit. And I may use counterfeit in each area too, so y'all can see. For me, if we define counterfeit, I need to put that on the screen. Counterfeit, I have to type this up. To me, it's someone who basically appears like the most perfect partner, male or female. They appear like your person. If you wrote it down, if you did law of attraction spell, if you did some special person work, or if you just naturally attracted them just by growing and ascending and doing work, however the way you attracted them naturally, organically, through prayer, through the church, through fasting. You know, people say they fast for their husband, they fast for their wife. Whatever way, they prayed overnight. Whatever way, you don't have to use like metaphysical principalities or like principles. You can use anything. This person appears, oh shit, what is on my ankle? This person appears to you as if they are your person. This essentially is a karmic. Your counterfeit is a karmic. I don't care what nobody say, male or female. They just come to you like your person. She said this was her person. It was beautiful. They were doing all these things off the bat. They were presenting her with these gifts. They were paying for everything. They were taking care of everything. They were gentlemen. They were nice. Da 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 da. The scary thing about a counterfeit is it already knows, male or female, that that's what it's supposed to do. It already knows the game. It already knows to do exactly what you want it to do. It already knows exactly what you are. It studies you before it knows you. It watches you before it knows you. If you already a public figure, or you known, or you have a reputation, it'll go get information. It'll damn near go do a background check on you. It'll go ask your friends, your family, your homies. It'll go ask people you went to school with. It'll go through your social media. What else? Shit, it'll probably pull cards on you if it's really like that, male or female. It'll do everything to figure out you before it even approaches you. That's what a counterfeit will do, which is creepy as fuck. It'll study you. Like for me personally, if I know I've been making videos for years, even when I had my old page, I got 100 and some. I got a little over 100 subscribers right now. My other channel, I think I had like around 100 too before I deleted it. And I had that channel for like 3 years before I deleted it. So let's say, for example, if I use myself for an example, if I have a counterfeit, more than likely, and I post my shit everywhere, more than likely, whether I know them or not, they could have potentially, and I have had a counterfeit, they could have potentially review all these things I'm saying as myself. They could hear me talking about myself. You know how I'm just willingly sharing? Wizard Liz, she's sharing about herself. Like, let's just be honest. We share about ourselves. Sometimes we detail, sometimes we not, sometimes we obtuse. When I say it's about me, it's about me. Other shit I'm just downloading, I'm just talking, and it's just what it is. Not like lying or nothing like that. That's just what it is. But when I get into these like intimate moments, like let me share myself, let me say this, why I can say this. So this is someone who's studying me. They my mannerism. I'm saying what I like, what I don't like. I'm sharing this on my social media in general. Maybe they just follow me for years. They didn't always follow me. Maybe they follow me since elementary, middle school, college, high school. It doesn't matter. They've always followed me. So they've always had a good idea of who and what I was before they even approached me. They already know what I like and don't like, at least what they can surmise. The counterfeit is not only going to study you, but the counterfeit is a karmic, male or female. They're not only going to study you, they're also going to pay attention to how you respond to different things. They're going to pay attention to what you like, what you don't like. This is why courting you, dating, they're going to pay attention to what makes you triggered. They probably intentionally, genuinely are going to make you triggered, positively and negatively. They're gonna see how you put up with this, how you put up with it, because they really monitor you. They also are somewhat like a monitoring spirit. So while they are with you, they are monitoring you. Then they also are monitoring you. So even if you feel like you're not talking to your counterfeit, your karmic, maybe they're a busy man or woman or something like that, they watching you, or they got somebody watching you. Right hand of God, they looking at you, they watching everything that you doing, they watching you, they are watching you more than you think. They watching your behaviors when you talk to them. If y'all get intimate, when you sleep with them, they're learning you to basically control you, subdue you, and like have a power play of you, but not to genuinely love you. This is why the counterfeit is the counterfeit. This is why the karmic feminine and masculine, some of them can be counterfeits, or at some point you will get to a counterfeit. But today the spirit woman to focus on the counterfeit part of a karmic feminine and a karmic masculine, because regardless they're karmic, because they're not your person. They're probably not even a divine nothing, and if they are, they fail, right? But this is not a twin. But the counterfeit is so similar to you as well, because they done studied you so much that literally it's like a twin. This is why I be getting kind of irritated, because I be like, oh, everybody be like twin. I'm like, just because you have a person that's so close to you does not mean that's your twin. If you're not with them, that's not your fucking twin. If you say a divine counterpart failed, or your divine twin or your twin flame failed, but you're using the word like divine feminine, my divine feminine, my divine masculine, yeah, he failed, he not, like, that don't even make sense. God created the word divine to describe this masculine or this female for a reason. It is of God. If you telling me your divine person failed, that person was never fucking divine in the first place. They were always karmic. You got confused by a karmic and a counterfeit at that, depending on where you at in your journey. And they really all counterfeits, but I'm talking about the counterfeit that come right before your twin. I'm talking about the counterfeit that come right when you at your north node. I'm talking about the counterfeit that come when you did so much karmic debt and weight, generally not because you're a bad person, but just you didn't work through so much shit that you at the point to where God is about to send you your person. Or maybe you know who your person is, and maybe they got, you know, destiny swapped or some shit like that, and that's another video. Or I talked about that before in other videos. Actually, you can just go watch them. You'll use your discernment. That's what I'm referring to. I'm talking about a counterfeit. For me is a karmic, masculine or feminine, but it's the person you meet right before you get with your twin, right before you get with your divine counterpart or your husband or your kingdom spouse. Remember, it's levels. Y'all gotta go to my first video. You got twin flame is number one, then I feel like number two would be a divine counterpart or your kingdom spouse, male or female. That's how I group it, and then everybody else is like soulmates, and then after that it's like y'all just out there. We've all, but I feel like as well it's an ascension, right? We go through all those levels of connections. So you have to figure out for yourself if a person is a karmic masculine or karmic feminine. And I don't think no one at the end of the day should be feeling bad because they end up with a karmic feminine or masculine or a counterfeit. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be tough, it's supposed to test you, it's supposed to strengthen you too. It's also supposed to give you more clarity on what and who you are purposely, intentionally. And also for some of y'all, you may get intercepted with a counterfeit when you already know who your twin is, and a counterfeit is like that one last fight before you finally like get and integrate with your twin or your divine counterpart or your kingdom spouse. It's like that last little go round, right? And more than likely your twin or your divine counterpart, not the one that failed, nigga, as well is going through the same thing or has went through the same thing. And you know, and I heard mission, and that's a part of the mission. It's a purpose to that. It's a general downloaded message. I'm not getting in details. You gotta book your own reading. Very general entertainment purposes only. Take what you need, leave the rest. So at the end of the day, you can't be like, the twin thing to me just has to be turned down some. And I know I'm like rambling. Why are you parking by me? Yeah, I just saw this on Instagram. You know how it's like 45 spots, but a car parks right by you. Do y'all hear this car right by me? It spots behind me. It spots down there. I still feel how I feel, but I'm gonna shout out to the brother because he out here taking his sons fishing. And I love to see black men with their kids, but he didn't have to park by me. I don't give a fuck. It was like so many other spaces behind me, down there. Like, I'm all the way at the end. Okay. But, you know, shout out to him taking his sons fishing. That's cute or whatever. Anyway, I don't like how everybody kind of talking about Wizard Liz, because I feel like we all human and we all can be humbled. And I feel like that's... Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Camera. And I feel like as much as we get on here and say we know these things, we are healed all these things, we're aware of all these things, we all, she has, y'all understand, like I said, I got 100 something subscribers. I said I've been doing this for years. I'm still growing, and I'm appreciative. I'm humble with it. This woman has millions of people she's touched already, and she has went through that publicly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like nobody is not susceptible to falling at some point to a counterfeit. And then if I take the counterfeit out, you have to understand that you're going to have so many karmics in general before you even get to that which I just spent most of the video describing. Y'all be feeling like these are twins. These are not twins. These are just karmic ass people that's mirroring you on your ascension journey. Even a genuine soulmate who ain't necessarily got to be like a nefarious ending can be, in my opinion, karmic as well. Does not have to be evil, nefarious, warlock, witchy, succubus. It don't gotta be all that either. A karmic, because karma to me is just cause and effect. What you put out is what you give. What you are is what you receive. And like I said in the first video, we always attracting who and what we are in all kind of relationships and opportunities anyway. Then naturally we attract just normal type of circumstances and people, period. They ain't even gotta be that deep in life. You have to begin to learn through these relationships and these circumstances what's real for you and what's not real for you. And when it's not real for you, you have to take the time, journaling, meditating, whatever to do to clean your aura, your energy, grounding, working out, fasting, praying, whatever, to really process what the fuck happened, why it happened, and what was they here for. And then you really got to get deep in the mud when you say, okay, well, what was my issue? What did I do? Women, we got to do that more. Like, we got to be able to say, like, okay, yeah, he did all this, but what did I do? What was I not accountable for? How did I let him in? What did I miss? What did I assume? How did I let this person gaslight me? How did I let this person manipulate me? Why did I want to believe this person so bad? Then, if, like I said at the beginning, just to reiterate, shit, I've been toxic, I've been karmic. I had went through a phase with that too. After like so many relationships, I was like, okay, maybe it is me, because some of this shit ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think nobody is my person that I already was with, personally. But I do think enough to know that for the most part, they were all here to show me something and grow me. You know what I'm saying? Show me something and grow me, if that makes sense. But even then, I wasn't like perfect to all the people that I dated and was in a relationship with. And then even if I was, I still would go back and be like, okay, but still, even if I know I treated this person 100% good, what did I still not do? What did I still maybe fail on? What was I not strong on? And I pray for stuff like that. I pray for God to show me that all the time, period. At the end of the day, though, I just wanted this video to basically just really quick, really fast, not too long, to just show that, like, we all can be humble. We attract karmics all day, every day. You, at some point on your ascension journey, will attract a counterfeit who was in fact a karmic. Soulmates fall into that, but I'm gonna do a whole video on soulmates, like, deeper. Everyone is a mirror. That's why everybody feels like a twin. That's why everybody is so mad at twins right now. Stop being mad at twins, because personally, everybody not a twin. I don't think it's not a lot of twins, but I don't think it's a lot of twins. Twin flames is something. Being chosen is something. Your path is something. It's multifaceted. It's not just you get the loving marriage, that's why you want to be a twin. No, it comes with a lot of work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing. You yourself are a pillar. You yourself are the thing, no matter your role. I said this in my first video when I said what is a twin flame and something like that. That's the title. Everyone has a season where they're alone. Everyone has seasons of karmics. Then you have a counterfeit. You can meet your twin in the process of this. You can have 5 karmics, a twin, and a counterfeit, and then you go back to your twin. You can have karmic, counterfeit, then your twin. It does not. You can meet your twin first. Karmic, counterfeit, go back to your twin. That's why, and I do wholeheartedly believe you and your twin or your divine counterpart or kingdom spouse will have a separation, or soulmate will have a separation. It's, you just can't tell me. Some people get together, they stay together, cool. They don't mean they're not less. They don't mean they're like less love about God or nothing like that. I just think the purposes and like the intention and stuff like that is different. But I don't think that with everything, right? It just depends on like your spiritual ranking and your mission and your purpose. Quality is important too. That's what I'm hearing God is saying, like quality. So quality is more important than quantity. So you don't necessarily have to have 20 relationships to meet your twin or have your twin. You can have 2 or 3 significant relationships and one of them is your twin. You can have 3 relationships and one of them is your twin. I'm back because once again they parked right by me, and I'm like trying to get my downloads, and like I can tell they were looking at me because they were looking at me in my dad's face. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so not they boat racing my life, but yeah, so like all these type of things are significant, and we all out here learning. I am not no better than nobody. I've had a lot of karmics, I've had counterfeits, but I do think once that significant counterfeit, that one counterfeit I'm speaking of, you will know if you experience this, because it won't just be like a normal connection. It won't be like one of the ones like, oh, you get cheated on. Nah, it's gonna hit different. It's gonna hit, and it's not to say that they cheated on you either. They don't have to cheat to be a counterfeit. That's what's gonna fuck y'all up. It's not, it's like I say this all the time, and I see it in society and social media so much, and I said a lot of stuff, y'all, I just learned about just watching the world. Like, I watch the world, I do my best to not be in it, but we all fall to things, right? But like, you could see it in so many relationships online, social media. You can see it in your city, your neighborhood. You can see it in famous people. You can see it in movies. Like, at some point, a lot of the things do repeat, and like, you can tell, you know, the type of connections that's gonna make it and the type of connections that's not gonna make it. You can just tell, bro. And then like, even in movies or shows or just life, if you watch it, it's like when a man or woman is super powerful, single. So let's say you're a divine masculine, the enemy is gonna send you a counterfeit woman. If you are a divine feminine, I swear to God, the enemy is going to send you a karmic masculine or a counterfeit masculine. It has to. And God is gonna let it, because for one, more than likely, depending on where you are in your walk and your journey, you probably do want somebody, whether you're building or already have it, male or female. More than likely, you already are mission and service based hearted. More than likely, you don't really attune to most men and women around you. You probably worked through stuff. You probably did. You probably worked through your lower chakras. You probably healed a lot of shit. You probably are already naturally more than most people around you. No shade, but you just are, and you know that. That don't mean you're not sweet and nice and kind, but you already have this kind of like power, energy, and attraction about you, male or female. You already have this type of purpose about you. You already move with this type of mindset about yourself. Not a cockiness, it's just true. You already can handle life at every level individually. Whatever you can do for yourself, you also can do for somebody else. Whatever you can do for yourself, you also expect from somebody else, but also you don't put that pressure on them because you're full of it yourself. You're full of yourself. Why is another car by me? Am I being cursed? But anyway, and next time I'll park at the very end. I mean, it's just one spot over, but I just thought I was okay because it was so many spaces. But at the end of the day, like, you already are fully yourself, right? No matter where you are, no matter your circumstance. And I said this in the first part, like, God's gonna send you a person no matter where you are in your life, in your work, in your journey. Like, you could be building or you could have it, male or female, right? And everybody, I feel like, independently should have an idea of at least their identity, self, God, and their purpose and their mission. Some people, I feel like, do get people in the midst of them forming that. I do believe in that. And then some of us don't, right? And then some of us do. So it just depends. But either way, like, you have an idea at least of self and God, okay? And then all the other shit I talked about in the first part is relevant. So regardless, when you're at the precipice of like switching to your north node, switching to your highest timeline, you're on your moon, you're on your midheaven, you're in that energy, right? You're gonna get sent a counterfeit. You just are. And it's up to you to figure out who's your person and who is not your person. It's up to you to take that walk and talk that journey to figure out who it is and what it is. And with this, sometimes when it comes to a twin or a divine counterpart, sometimes you could be ahead. Like, let's say you already did that, but your person hasn't. They have to go through it too. Or vice versa, or y'all both have at the same time. It just depends on the situation or scenario. And that's something between you and God you have to discern. So this is why I say, like, you will separate 99% of the time between your divine masculine, divine feminine, who's a divine counterpart, a kingdom spouse, or a twin, period. Sometimes you know you're a twin at the beginning, sometimes you know it in the middle, sometimes you know it at the end, once you're done with your counterfeit. But at the very least, what I just want to say is everybody's a karmic. If they're not your person, they're a karmic. But karmic don't gotta be bad, it can be in a farce, it don't gotta be a cheating ass dog or feminine. It could be other ways that they just didn't work out for you because of cause and effect, because of trauma, because of trust issues, because of toxicity, because they couldn't get over some trauma issues, some trauma bonding, some attachments, some addictions. It don't have to be third party energy. It could be mommy issues, it could be daddy issues, it could be they just grow but they don't grow this far. They could be deep but not this deep. It just could be so many other things besides the typical I get cheated on, I get dogged out. It don't have to be that. I swear to, it don't have to be that. And it's also where like the enemy can kind of be confusing, because you would think it would be those typical things, but it don't have to be those typical things. I think it just depends on the person and your journey and your exploration and what you're here to learn and what you're here to ascend with. Is that all I got for y'all? So this part. I'm gonna talk about the other type of people in the next video. I'll probably do like one more video and then break down the soulmates and the other people. But I feel like this really just gives a juxtaposition of like, y'all gotta stop talking about twins. I don't like that, because I just feel like that's not what a twin is. Y'all talk about this my twin, this my twin. But shout out to everybody who teach like that, because everybody's necessary for how they express. We still need it, but let's really like break this down. Everybody was not your twin, sis. Everybody was not your twin, sir. You don't have that many fucking twins. It ain't even that many twins. But everybody will mirror you. You will have counterfeits. You have karmics who mirror you too, who feel like twins. And then sometimes it's just like logic, y'all. Y'all gotta really think. Why would God give you so many fucking twins to do you wrong? What is the scenario? And then that's when I say, well, a twin is a horrible ass person and da-da-da. Is they? Or are you confused? Bye.